Hey folks, so we're going to just jump into it here. Things have been selling down, obviously. We talked about this a lot in the newsletter, what's going on with these levels. And I have background music. I don't know if you're going to hear it on here or not, but I'm just going to leave it on. Um, in regards to the markets, we're going to get into them. We're going to get into the Russell. We're going to get into the SPY here, the Qs. We're going to really dig into this. I'm going to try and make it fast because there's a lot going on, but we all know how that usually goes when I try to make it fast. Usually I drone on or go on a rant. So I'm going to try not to rant. I'm going to try to just give process because there's a lot going on here. And I think there's tremendous opportunity. So we're going to go through these really quickly, but let's just start. Let's just get into it. As always, subscribe to this channel. Click on notifications. If you like what I have to say, click a like. I'm trying to get in front of more people just to educate them more than anything on what's going on, to give people an actual understanding of what needs to transpire in order to be consistently profitable. So let's just get into the Qs so that we can really drill down into this, and let's start getting into it, right? So we have the 5 and the 8 crossing. I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks, if you look in the newsletter, that we can easily go to the 21 day. We hit the 21 day, and now we're trapped between the 5 and the 8 and the 21. When you own high beta stocks and you do a little drop like this, they're going to go down. I mean, they just are. 10 points in a 300-point index is a 3-4% move. It's absolutely nothing. And all this does is really present a buying opportunity for the right stocks. So, for me, I don't know if we break this. Right now we're sitting right on it, 29.76, and right below it is 328.35. I mean, we could close right here, and we could go to 323.88. Is it the end of the world? No. I mean, look at this channel. And it's really important that we focus on the indexes because they're the underlying. Look at this channel, right? I mean, you can see this, and you can see what's going on here. I mean, we actually have a convergence point right here. Convergence points are big. So if we hit here, there's still nothing wrong. But, you need to watch your stops so that you have capital so that you can reinvest. Now, let's look at what's going on here. I mean, we've been talking about this second day close, TNA trade still intact, and we have a stop on that TNA trade, which I'll go over in the newsletter today. And if you don't subscribe to the newsletter, please do. It's free. And I think you'll find true value in it if you take a look at some of the comments on Twitter for the people that get it. But all I'm doing is forming a wedge, right? So we talked about this one being the furthest off the channel, and it looks the worst. But let's get into it. I mean, let's really take a look at what's going on here, right? You have this wedge here, and now you have a little waterfall going on, right? Right here. Now, what's great about this, and what I really like about this, is all of a sudden people are no longer asking me today about what's going on, what stocks they need to be looking at buying. It's a clear indication that retail, to me, is blown out. So I think we do hold this 21, but I'm not going to bet on it. We're going to see what happens, and we're going to hold our price. Now, if you look at the action on the day, and we can drill down into these, but let's look at this, the 15-minute chart. I mean, you opened, you were here, you gapped down, you had a waterfall event. You're probably going to test this low, and then we're going to go from there. Now, if we get rid of the indicators, what are we doing? We're just selling down. We got a little hammer going here now. So, but we really haven't broken that low. We've just taken out this low, gone here. So let's just see how this plays out. But I don't see anything that is broken here. I don't see anything that's bearish. I mean, I just see us selling after massive runs. Now the Qs pop back down below that channel, or I'm sorry, the SPYs pop down below that channel, and there's nothing to do here. You sit, watch, and wait. And so the index is back in, so you can look at the indicators. We'll go. Maybe we go to the 21 day, and maybe we stay in this channel. And we talked about this. These channels are, the majority of them are 10-year channels. Like, they're going to respect that. If they flip and go, we're going to go parabolic. We haven't done that yet. Doesn't mean that it's over. It just means it hasn't done it right now. So that's where I stand on the indexes. I am still very bullish on these indexes, and you can see these trends. I mean, these trends are not going away. and they're going to stay there for a long time. Like, that's not going away anytime soon. But when we come down, it gives us a buying opportunity, and that's why we have to know where these key levels are. And like today, we bounced. I mean, we sold down, but we bounced. And if you were nimble and you knew where your stops were and you knew where your buy levels were, you made money today so far. So let's just get into some of the ideas that are out there. So this was one I threw out yesterday, and the reason I threw this out, I really wanted to put this in the newsletter, and that's why I would tell anyone that doesn't follow me on Twitter, just put it up there and click on the notifications, because sometimes I do have decent ideas that actually work. And we broke right through this 25 level, right? And as soon as we broke this upper trend line, we flipped it. And you can see that flip today. Look at this, okay? Look at this flip today, right? Right to it, tested it. What's this remind you of, okay? And then you can see how this one's still up here. But what does this remind you of? It reminds you of Tilray. When we traded Tilray, it did this, right? You flip this, and then you go higher. So if you're in this and you were fortunate enough to be in this, I see no reason to do anything with it. Just watch this level. And if you break below this, like we did on Tiger, which we'll get into, yeah, you could come back down. Does that mean the trade's over? No, it just means it needs to consolidate before going higher. BNGO, you moved your stop to a break even. We trimmed up here when we were up 20%. We didn't flip and stay in the big channel, did we? We stayed on the outside. I talked about that yesterday. I wanted to be in there. I'm not out of a share of this. I haven't done anything with it. Here's 1270, right? And your stop, and what's happened? We're just bouncing around here. So this is not triggered to me. I like using the closes to determine whether or not I'm getting out of something, because it shows me true buying versus just high frequency traders or algos trying to knock me down. So right now I'm just trapped between the 5 and the 8 day. I mean, that's how I trade. I want to see the close. I'm willing to pay for it. Everybody's different, but I like this a lot, and I don't see anything remotely broken in this. I see us backfilling and now setting up to go even higher than I thought of the first time. So nothing to me is broken here. Curry was one I threw out today, this morning, and I have to thank one of the followers who threw this chart at me. This wasn't even on my radar, but it's funny. People listen to the YouTube videos and hear the inflection of my voice, and this one jumped out, and I got a couple DMs on it about it, and they're right. I mean, I was pretty excited when I saw this. This has got a lot going on, and let's just look at one key area here that may be an issue. Right? Let's just look at this, right? So that might be an issue. Okay, this top channel, and that might be why we stopped here. See how this one goes right here, and now we can't close above it. Does that mean I need to get out of it? No, it just means it hasn't gone over it yet. We've had a little test today, and on a weekday, I've got enormous buying, enormous, and we've continued to have enormous buying on this, and I like this. And your stop is the low of the day. I think we're going to flip this and go higher, but let's see what happens. I do like this trade a lot. The volume that came into it yesterday was like 3 times. It's just sick volume. INO is not one that I follow. I think I've been in and out of it before, but it's not one. We're just going to leave that lowercase just for time's sake. But you got a lot going on here that would just give me a little caution. Like, I don't really want to buy this, right? I don't like charts like this until you can show me what you're doing. Now, I can see why some people would be all over this, because now we're starting to get above the 200-day. These are crossing. That little video I did where I showed the 5-8 crossover on the daily. We're doing that, and they're pointing up. I could see how somebody would buy this, but I have a wedge over another wedge. So where could my trigger be to buy this? Yeah, if you broke above this high, you could try it. And realistically, if you don't want to wait to the 19, but if you get above this level, and this was something that you really wanted to be in, 1608, flip it and go higher, close below the 200-day and blow it out as far as a stop. But that's really what you want to see here. That's the kind of action you're looking for. So LOL or LOTZ. I mean, there's a huge channel here. There's a lot of volume coming in. I just don't like where we're at chart-wise. I don't like this kind of chart. What does that mean? I don't like the volatility. Like all of a sudden we have these huge swings in price compared to what we had before. And I'm all over the place. And I've got a lot of big selling days here. Maybe that's exhaustion, and maybe this is the buying that's coming in with it. But I would need to see more here. And you can see right here, hopefully you can see this. But you see that resistance level right there? We can't, we try to hold it, we rally, we break through it, and you can see boom, 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 hit it 4 times. Let's get rid of this indicator. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we just try to rally to it, can't break it. So if I wanted to be in this, I might look at that 1091 level. NIO, just been a disappointment, right? I mean, we've been in this, we fell back in the channel, we're gapping down today. They're trying to take our stock from us. Again, we moved our stop to 57, and they took it, and we're out. So this will be updated in the newsletter, and now we're going to have to look for a new buy. But I can tell you right now, I already see one. I mean, see how you're out of this falling wedge, but now you're back into it. See how you're below the support, and what do we call these trades? We do them all the time, or I show them all the time. Boomerang trades, right? So we're actually setting up here. We're doing this little undercut, and I bet you the indicators fit right on it. Look at that. There's your 50-day. So, like, this is setting up. Yeah, we're out up here. We're out at the 57 level. So what, right? That saved us. Now we could flip and go higher, and we might even be able to get in it even cheaper than we sold it. So do I think this is over? Not by a long shot. All we've done is gone to the 50-day, and so far we caught at the 50-day, and we're finding support. So let's see it build, and we'll go from there. Nectar, the volume the other day on this one was just absolutely insane, and you can see it right here. Like, look at this volume that came in, right? I mean, it's just amazing. And now we're at this 2506 level, and we have to clear above that. We're at a 25. The stop was the low of the day. This will get tighter and tighter, but I have an inside day on a lot of volume, and nothing's really broken. So I don't really see sense in doing anything here. I think we look great, and let's just see how this continues. But no reason to do anything. Now, this is one we've been in before, planter, and then we've been out of it. But let's just see what's going on here. See how we're respecting this line and not able to close above it? Now, there's a lot of confusion when I talk to people about when is the lockup date. Okay, so a lot of people are looking at this. Look at this level, 24.27. But a lot of people are looking at this and concerned about when they're supposed to come out. At this point, I am just broken. The 5, the 8's crossed. This is why we have stops. We got stopped out at 32.5. We lost $2.50. Will there become a time for this? Yeah. My time is probably going to be if it breaks below this 24 and has like an exasperation. But this is interesting. If we open and close here, you have a little bit of a doji bar. Could push higher. If it closes down here, we have a gravestone bar. That would be really interesting and could signify a bottom. So let's just see how we act here. This is on my list, and I'm watching this very closely. And I've been drilling down into this chart all day and just watching it. So, I really like how, you can just see this bar, right? It's 15-minute. That's all I'm looking at here. Let's get rid of these indicators, clean this up a little bit. But let's look at this. Look at this range. Have I broken out of that range since the first 15 minutes of the day? No. Did I have buying the first 15 minutes of the day? Yes. What was the volume like? Okay, the volume was sick. Look at the buying volume on this thing, right? Let's give it a little arrow. There you go. So look at the buying. First 15 minutes. It tells you what they're thinking. So then, okay, now if I know that, let's drill down into it a little bit more. All right, here's your hourly. Okay. So maybe this is setting up a little sooner than I thought. Maybe there's more of a pattern here than I'm aware of. And look, there's another little pattern. So maybe it's clearing this or clearing this 15-minute bar. Like if I clear 26.32 today, I'd be all over this because that would lead me to believe that there's going to be more follow through, and that gives me a really tight stop of 2 points against that major support level. So, seed. This one was thrown into the newsletter today. Let's drill down into it, and we can talk about why. This break was enormous. There was very positive news on it, but look how we gapped. We talk about these gaps all the time, but look how we gapped right above it, and then they jam us down. They convince us that it's going to sell with the market. We don't even gap fill. We discussed gap fills yesterday. We don't even gap fill. We just go. And the volume that came in was pretty good. So I like this trade. I think it's going to work. I'm really comfortable with this one that we added today as well. And this one, we're up $2 on this one, it looks like already. But I'm really comfortable with these two trades. And I like buying stocks like this that are very strong relative strength. They're very strong relative strength when the market's getting hammered. I mean, that's where you want to be. This is when you find out where the relative strength is. So what do we have here? There's my 15-minute alarm, and we're over as always. So let's just look at this for a moment, since I'm already over, right? But let's get into this. So I don't know. I mean, look, you went right to the 21-day. You had a reversal. You didn't take out a lower low today, did you, on that volume? And now the rumors coming out again, they're going to try and fly again. Look, right now the stock is trading to get rid of these indicators. But we're trading down here, and we're not in this in the newsletter. We never triggered for us. But look at this. Look how we're respecting this line right here on this lower channel. And we tried to break it, and we broke below it, didn't we? And then we just, boom, we ran. So this is very interesting because right now, I don't have a launch date, right? I just have a rumor. This 56 level, 46.58 level is very interesting. And we should rally here and get to the high end of the channel. You could buy this, and you could use this level as your stop if you want to be in ahead of this. Because right now you don't have a launch, and this is how the stock's acting. And you have a reversal today on a really bad day. So let's just keep going. Tiger, our stop's 29.95. Right now we're at 30.25. I trimmed on the way up. We talked about the trimming. We were up 114% in 2 trading days. This second BP you bought, if you didn't blow it out, you should be out of that at the 32 level. This bullish engulfing acted well. All we're doing is backfilling. That's all we're doing here, right? And where am I? I filled this gap, didn't I? And then I bounced. I have no interest in getting out of the rest of this unless I close below this 29.95, and then we'll get stopped out. And if I do get stopped out of this, I'm going to come back to it and find another entry. Workhorse, let's just get into this one, right? Like, this line's been here forever, and look where it stopped. I mean, tell me technical analysis doesn't work. Okay, our support level was 30.88. Where are we? 30.89. I was off by a penny. So you can see, and I say this all the time, these rising wedges, they are not bullish. They are bearish, right? You can see this here. I'm not going to redraw these, but you can see what I'm talking about. You see how you break and you roll? What you're going to do is test support, and now you're going to build a base and then go higher. Do I need to do anything here? No. If I was in this, I would just watch this level. If you break this 30.88 level, you probably want to get out of it because then you're probably coming down to this 50-day and go from there. That's it. Feel free to message me or send me an email with any requests that you have or any concerns that are out there right now. As always, just keep the questions coming. And on the down days are not the days to not buy stocks. Just like when we mentioned, I might as well get into this because I got a ton of questions about this. How did I see this or whatever? Look, I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this over 20 years. So, when I called this on Twitter yesterday, everybody was like, the amount of response to people telling me it was going to 100 was overwhelming. I'm not saying it's broken. I said I shorted it here. I bought puts on it. I covered it when we got to the 5-day. I mean, this was a very easy trade. If you think something like this that's going parabolic cannot go to its 5-day moving average, you're delusional. So I guess there is a rant. I guess that is pretty much a rant, isn't it? But see what I'm saying here? Like, look, all we did was pull back to here. Where'd we go? To levels not seen for 2 days ago, 48 hours. Does it mean it's over? No, but we could roll now. Now you have this, depending upon how this acts. So this is when you short up here. You don't short now. You'll get crushed. So that was the trade, and I'm out of it, and I went from there. But that's it. Any questions, give me a call, and or I'm sorry, an email.